San Juan Regional Medical Center is your community hospital, committed to making life better for the communities we are privileged to serve. In fact, better is our mission, improving lives through personalized health and care. What matters most to our patients matters most to us, offering a comprehensive range of inpatient, outpatient, and emergency care services so you can get the quality care you need right here at home. San Juan Regional Medical Center, celebrating life better here since 1910.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Megan Culp, along here with Scott Michlin.
Hey, look who's here.
Hey.
Happy Friday.
Yeah.
How are you? How was your week?
My week was all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we are.
Nothing special.
It's December, though.
It is December.
How about that?
2nd.
I know.
No less.
Already.
It is kind of weird, huh? That really flew by. That's
it
really
seems weird to me that we're here. Yeah.
How fast that went.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Here we are. And this is our Solutions from the Street week.
It is.
Right?
Where we identify a problem and interview solution makers.
Exactly. But before we do that, I'll do a quick plug.
Oh, good.
Okay. I want to just, welcome everyone and just remind everyone that if you missed the Christmas parade last night, we were there.
Yes.
We were there.
You
KSJE was there. I know.
Yes.
You weren't there. You were busy.
It's true.
You stayed warm.
I did.
But it was a great time, and we were able actually to use some of our new listener-supported KSJE on the road equipment to actually broadcast the parade. And so it's now available on our KSJE Facebook page, and so our YouTube channel. You can check it out and enjoy the parade if you weren't able to get there. And it's like over an hour long. It's like 70 minutes long.
Yeah, 70
it's crazy.
entries.
Yeah. So it was a good time. We had a lot of fun, and appreciate my co-MC Devin Neely was there. We had some great judges that were there, and so it was a lot of fun. But there's Toys for Tots. They made a great impression.
That's a good float right there.
On Main Street. Lots of lights, lots of people, lots of candy being thrown and tossed and things like that. So anyway, just wanted to put that plug out for folks to join us and watch.
KSJE on the road has been everywhere. We're going to be at the Luminarias on Saturday.
We're going to be there tomorrow. That's right, here at the college. So we hope folks will tune in. That's an online thing. So if you're listening to the radio, you might not hear those on the road programs because they're more of a visual thing. So you really have to be watching like our social media pages. Facebook probably the primary one. So there you go. Gigantic bus dressed like Santa Claus.
Yeah. That's a pretty good one.
Yeah, there you go. Anyway, so back to the business at hand, which is our Solutions from the Street when we talk about a problem and talk about a solution, right?
Right.
And so, what's our problem?
Well,
a short list.
I was going to say that's a rather extensive list.
It is.
I would say, if I had to describe it, I would say, financial inequities that exist, or that some people have and some people have not, right?
Sure.
And so how do we help out our neighbor in those situations?
I like that. And I think at this time of year, it really becomes even more exacerbated.
Yes.
Right. When you have maybe trouble or having trouble making ends meet, or some type of other thing that messes up your budget, a car repair or a medical bill or something like that just throws the family budget into chaos, basically.
Yes.
And here you are with the pressures of the holidays, and I know we shouldn't be under pressure for the holidays, but I think a lot of people try to do the best that they can for their families.
Yes.
So here we are. So we have a solution for that.
Yes, we do.
We do, right? And our guest. So let's talk a little bit about that and introduce our guest, because one of many charitable organizations helping to solve this problem is the Salvation Army. Mm-hmm. And there you are.
Yes.
And
Lieutenant Christopher Rockwell's with us.
Exactly. Lieutenant, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
We're well. I'm well. I think Megan's well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys both look like you're doing pretty good.
Well, thank you very much. You too, sir.
Yeah.
And it's good to have you here this morning to talk a little bit about the work that the Salvation Army is doing. And as I said, I know there's other agencies too, but we wanted to bring you in because I think the work that you all do and the kettles and everything really do kind of signify the traditional holiday season and Christmas season. So,
yeah, absolutely.
But it's a busy time for you and your folks too.
Yeah, it is a busy time. I'm just glad to be back here under positive circumstances, because remember last year?
I do remember last year. Yes, sir. You had a stolen van
Right.
of like $6,000 in gifts for children, and we were talking about that on this very radio station about what that meant. And
Right.
but the community rallied, and
Oh, the community was amazing. I mean, it wasn't just Farmington. It was all of San Juan County.
That's
It
right.
was all the four corners, because we had Cortez and Durango helping us too.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was great. And as far as this year's going, the need still is there.
sure, of course.
Yeah, I was communicating that, look, what happened last year was a tragedy turned into a blessing. But this year, if we could get that kind of support, we can serve so many, because we were able to serve 1,500 families last year. And that obviously that couldn't have been possible unless the community came out and rallied like they did. So we were looking at almost 3,000 children who got toys and
How about that?
clothing. Oh man,
And
really wonderful.
And if not for you and the Salvation Army, I imagine a lot of these kids would not have had either anything or a very less amount of toys.
Yeah, because our outreach wouldn't have been as high. And, you know, I got to give a shout out to Toys for Tots, because they do an amazing work as well. And we work with them, and they're wonderful. But having the hearts of the people invested in it, in ourselves, and Toys for Tots groups like that, that's what makes the difference. That's where the change comes from. And Farmington is amazing, because I was telling my commanders out in Phoenix, I wrote a whole letter about it, and just like, people gave and they gave. And what else did they do? They gave. And so it was just great. And it helped me fall in love with this area. I think it's wonderful. And being from California, from the rat race, California growing up, this is such a breath of fresh air. And it's wonderful to see the individuals, the people that come and just here. This is from us to you, and we can take that and bless somebody with it.
Indeed.
And so that, nothing beats that, or the smile of a child when they're getting their gifts and clothes. It melts the heart. And so it's like, I want to do just as much as that as we can, and never looking back, always going forward, and always just in the moment saying, we can do this, because we're all together in this, as a community, as a region, as friends, as people who have a common goal of helping other people.
Right. Very true.
'Cause
Well,
it's all about others.
that's right. Well, nice to hear you say that too. And I think it's important. You know, we have seen the images of Southern California and some of the air
yeah.
pollution. So I think what you say, breath of fresh air, figuratively and literally, you're right on target there, Lieutenant. So I appreciate that.
Right,
I had to
totally
go there.
bullseye.
I had to go there.
No, it's okay.
had to go there.
You're being honest, and that's good. Honesty is the best policy, and that just hits it on the head. So.
Right. So there is still time for families to sign up for assistance with the Salvation Army this year, and Toys for Tots. You're working in conjunction with that other organization. And so we wanted to share some of that information. And so you had an earlier deadline, but you've extended it through December 10th. And that's the new drop dead date, I guess, that we need to get signed up by, right?
Yeah, and so we originally were going to go just to the middle of November, but we when we got there, talking with Toys for Tots,
Right.
we realized we can do more. We could do a lot more. And we have the financial resources to help us as well. I mean, that's always good when the community gives it, but we can do more. And so we got together and we said, okay, Toys for Tots is going until December 10th. We'll go right along with them.
Okay.
And we had a cutoff originally of ages 0 to 13, no more than 13, but we changed that to 0 to 18.
Okay. And so for folks who are listening on the radio who can't see the details on the screen, can you go through kind of what folks need to bring or provide for you to get this assistance?
Yeah, so if you're looking to get an Angel Tree application, you need to get the gifts and the clothes that we're able to provide. What you need to do is, if you call the office And can I give the phone number?
Yeah, of course.
Which is 505-327-5117. We can make an appointment with you to get an application. We are encouraging everybody to do it online because as much as we want to do, we're limited in our staffing and what we can do just with face to face. If I had 20 people, I wouldn't ask them to do it online. Just say bring them on in, come on.
Sure.
But if you can do it online, the address is saangeltree.org. And when you go there, you put in your zip code. And for example, 87401 Farmington, 87402, or you could do Bloomfield 87413. That all maps to the Salvation Army Farmington.
Right.
And there's a step-by-step process to fill out the application. But if you make an appointment online, you bring your photo ID, you bring a proof of your income because there's an income level, and then you just fill out the application that we can provide. We're willing. I don't want to be like stringent, like, oh, you're a little bit over the line, so forget it, you can't get gifts. No. We will work with you. We are very flexible. We want to help you, and we want to make this a memorable Christmas for everybody.
Right.
And so we're friendly. Come on in. We'll get you going. And our office, the Salvation Army Church, is at 319 West Broadway, downtown Farmington. A lot of people, unfortunately, since the thrift store closed, sometimes think, hey, I thought you guys closed. Or you left.
The whole organization?
Yeah.
No, just the thrift store.
Right. And it's like, no, we're still here. And we turn the thrift store into a clothing bank. So if you have clothing you want to donate, blankets or linens, you can give that to us as well. And those are going to go to the Farmington Municipal Schools, Aztec, Kirtland Central, Bloomfield. We give to the families that need those items, and then also to the veterans groups and San Juan Regional Medical Center as well.
Right.
So it's a way of us being able to help the public, and as the Salvation Army motto says, doing the most good.
Right. And that sounds like that's almost a year-round type of an effort too, right?
Yes.
Not just during the holiday season.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What you're doing with the clothes.
Yeah. That's what we're doing, the clothes. Our goal eventually, Scott and Megan, is to turn that clothing bank into a one-stop family service center where people can come get hygiene, they can get basic medical treatment, they can get dental, we'll start doing life skills, or they can do our resumes and things like that. A one-stop place, of course, spiritual care and spiritual pastoral care, that's my bread and butter. But having it all in one place where people are getting multiple dimensions of need met.
Very good.
So, yeah.
And let's bring Megan into the conversation, because once again, I have kind of taken over the interview, and I
got
do
his habit.
apologize. So
He
I'm going to
has a
just sit
habit.
here quietly while you take it away.
Well, I was one of the things I'm wondering is how does one give? What are the different? There's kind of a lot of different options when it comes to giving to the Salvation Army. What are those?
Well, there's the giving of financial giving, which is always a plus, of course. And the best way they can do that is giving to our kettles right now that are spread out around Farmington. We have one at the Big R in Bloomfield and the Safeway at Aztec. We're trying to increase our staffing for that so we can cover those places regularly. But anyway, financially giving to the kettles or writing a check and dropping it off to us, or cash, as long as it's meant out to the Salvation Army. And I want to say, too, that any money that is given to us here in Farmington stays here in Farmington, stays in San Juan County. It doesn't leave. That is very important. And I've expressed that very clearly, how important that is. Because you have some people have been floating around, maybe float an idea, well, maybe you can do this. No. We invest where we're at, and that's with all Salvation Armies. They can give clothing by just dropping it off. Really, just call me, or hey, Lieutenant, I want to give this, or I want to do that. Okay, I'll be sure to be there for you, and that sounds great, and God bless you, and let's do that. And so financially, and then of course time, giving of their time to volunteer to help us bag gifts, to help us distribute, and of course their talent, if they know amazing ways that can streamline our process, that would be good too. But really it's just about making a phone call and calling us and letting us know, and however way you want to give, we will work with you.
And can I add, too, that this year you have a virtual kettle, Lieutenant Rockwell?
Yes.
What?
I know, right?
Whoa, my mind's blown.
Right?
I've never seen this.
Yes. So if you go on our Facebook page, we have a QR code where you can use your cell phone's camera to do that, and it takes you right to the Farmington donation page, and you can give in whatever quantity you want to give. But some people, they like the convenience of the internet and the convenience of just doing it quickly. So that's a good way to do it quickly. Again, money that is invested here
Stays here.
stays here.
Right. And I think that's important for a lot of folks when they give to any charity, really. And so that's important to know. But you've got to embrace the digital world, I guess, with this virtual kettle idea.
And you know what? That's I'm 46 years old, and that's been tough for me. On one hand, I like it, but on the other hand, there's some old-fashioned things that I do.
Sure.
But
Well, I
have a good
Yeah.
my assistants, Deacon Dean and Jennifer Reeves. They do an amazing job, and I'm just like, here, you guys take care of the digital side. I'll be here doing the paperwork and the administrative side.
But yeah, in the physical kettle is such a it's totally goes hand in hand with what I think of the Christmas season.
Sure.
I mean, it's
Right.
I remember always being told to, like, go throw this in the kettle. Like, that was like a
Right.
thing. So
No, absolutely,
Yeah.
and it still is.
Yeah.
And we're blessed by our corporate partners in the city here, like Big R Hardware. I just went to them and asked them about hosting a kettle, and they're like, oh yeah, no problem, sure. And so that's been great. Where in other places, maybe like in where I'm from back in California, would have been like, no, here there's no hesitation. It's just yes.
Nice.
Yes, and I just love that.
That's nice.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, and
That's
nothing
great.
beats the sound of that bell
No.
being rung
No,
that you
it's
hear
so
across the
perfect.
parking lot,
It's so
and the
great.
whole, and the idea of stuffing those bills through that little slot into
so
the
great,
kettle.
so fun. Make the kids do it.
Yeah.
It's a
The
good time.
kids are doing yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and then when you have volunteers who have like a dog, the dog can draw in
Well,
there.
of course.
The pets do and anything. But the bell ringers, I emphasize what we're doing this for. It's for the people. It's for us. It's for God. It's for making Farmington a more robust and loving and a place that people know, a place that everybody knows that people care.
Right.
People care.
Certainly. That's
And we want to see everybody as enriched as it possibly can with what we are able to provide.
indeed. And folks can call you and email you, and we're putting that information up on the screen, at least the phone number.
Yeah, the phone number, they call there, and my assistants, whoever picks it up, we're there, and we do the best. Nobody gets turned away. Nobody gets turned away. And if we can't see somebody in the moment, that like if my assistant gets it, they'll give it to me, and I'm like, and when I'm ready, I will call.
Sure.
Nobody's going to get dropped. That's one of my edicts. It's like, hey, everybody gets time.
Sure. Which is really
It's
important.
great.
But this is the season of long days for you and your staff, I know.
It is, and it's the most, as Andy Williams, it's the most wonderful time of the year, but it's
Right.
also the most challenging time. But I wouldn't trade that for anything. Coming from a background of drug addiction, like I came from, all I have to do is just think about that for 1 second, and then I realized, let's go. Why I'm so blessed to be here in Farmington, in this position to do what I'm able to do to help others.
Right. I wanted to ask a bit about
Like
that.
I was helped.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
Were you helped by the Salvation Army? Is that
Yeah.
kind of nice? Yeah.
yeah, I was helped by the Army. I was really I was pretty much rock bottom. Was pretty homeless on the streets. And then through my family, they got in touch with the Army, and the Army reached out to me, and I said, yes. And
Nice.
they pulled their hand out, and I put mine. They grabbed me and pulled me in, and it's been a love affair of the Lord, a love affair of others
Yeah.
ever since.
Wow.
I think it's important.
great.
Thank you for sharing that. I think it's important for folks to know that maybe, you have gone through what a lot of other folks are going through, and maybe can relate a bit to some of these folks who are coming to you for help now.
Yeah,
Now.
and when they come for help, I mean, it's not just material needs, too. It's those emotional and spiritual needs. And I always say, hey, you want to talk? I'll make time for you. We'll come to my office and we'll chat. I'll tell them my testimony. And I'll say, that's for you as well. If you want change, then change can happen, but you gotta want to change. And that's the challenge right there.
Right.
That's the challenge. And
It has to
because it's an
stick.
everyday thing, you know. The Lord is saying, what do you want? What do you want out of this day? You're awake now. What do you want? I hope you want me and what I can give you compared to what you want to do for yourself. Because speaking for me, whenever I want to do for myself, always led to, let's just say, not very pleasant circumstances. I always
Fair enough.
got down that dark alley or something. But when I'm in the morning and I'm making the choice to serve others, to serve the Lord and do what He's called me to do, hey, no matter how hard the day is, I go home and I sleep with a clean conscience. And that's worth more than anything, any kind of material good that this world can offer.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and going back to sort of what the community can do to help, I know you have a couple of opportunities coming up for in-person volunteerism.
Yes.
So tell us about those.
So as these toys and clothing come into us, we're going to need help bagging them and sorting them. And starting December, we have December 5th. December 5th, there's this invitation from Chief Heavy about community relations. We're going to be attending. So I say on the 6th.
Okay.
Starting on the 6th, we will open up our warehouse, and just people, all they have to do is drop by, and when they drop by, we have them sign a form. They give us their info. We make a record of it as, hey, here's one of our new volunteers. Here was somebody we can call later, hopefully down the road. But they just come in, and we give them a bag, and we show them what to do, and just get it done. Because the more we can get, the quicker we can get that bagging, and we're not waiting till the last minute. Because last year, particularly with the van theft, it was like everybody was, just fit to be tied because we had to get it done so quickly, and it was just not as clean of a process as it could have been.
Sure.
Could have
So
been.
that's next Tuesday already,
Yeah.
December 6th.
Yeah.
And what, 8 to 5?
Eight to
question mark?
Yeah, it has those moments, doesn't it?
Yes.
8 to 8 is what
Okay.
I'm doing because as an officer, I'm 24/7, so I can be there at the bare minimum. Now my staff, they get paid. I'd like to give them the overtime, and I'm pretty flexible, but we also want to not overflow the
We don't wanna
cause.
blow out the budget,
Hey,
that's for
I
sure.
love my staff, but
Right.
I mean, I can't just say, here, you do this for free. No, if they do have their kindness of heart, amen. But I'm there, call, they come over, sign, here you go, and God bless you for your heart and for your
Gotcha.
heart to serve.
And from that, then you will have a distribution event
Yes.
for all these families who you are helping with these things, toys and everything that's been donated through the Toys for Tots and directly through the Salvation Army. And that's coming up when?
December 21st, Wednesday.
Okay.
It'll be from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. If people want to get involved with that, then we call, we get them signed, and we give them a reminder, hey, it's coming up. And
And these
We
are
ask
families
them-
that have registered with you ahead of time.
Yeah.
Which is what we're talking about.
registered
through the 10th.
Yeah, and we register as registered ahead of time because they're going to come, they're going to drive through, and we need people to take those bag gifts, hand them to the families, make a note, record it. And then down the road, too, we can also check in with these families to say, how you doing? How you guys
Right.
doing? Have that personal touch. Because that's what it's all about with the Lord. It's personal relationship. And I want to have that as much as I can, not just with my volunteers and my staff or business leaders around the area. I also want to have it with the individuals that we serve, because they're the ones who they're the straws that stir the drink. So, because without them, why are we here?
Right.
Why are we here?
Absolutely. The straws that stir the drink.
How about that?
I love
I want that
that.
on a T-shirt.
I love that.
I want that on a
I'll
t-shirt.
be using that.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you are. Lieutenant, I want to ask you a little bit about cost, too, because you were talking a little bit about the volunteers and the folks that really try to, help out. But you do have some paid staff. And I think in some areas, some Salvation Army have had to maybe pay bell ringers from time to time. And is that what you find you have to do here in some cases?
Yeah, we do. I mean, honestly, it's the fact that, COVID was devastating.
Right.
And it was really devastating for the Army here in Farmington. It almost wiped the whole place out. And so we're slowly but surely rebuilding our volunteer base. We have wonderful service clubs like the Rotary, Farmington Rotary, San Juan Rotary, the Evening Lions, Kiwanis of Farmington.
Sure.
It's just Rio del Sol. It's just having them. But we want to let everybody know how you can make a difference. If you want to just come out and get a bell for a couple hours, that's fine. Or if you want to come out as volunteer doing the bags, that's fine. I don't have to pay my staff to do that. I have people just doing it, and then they're paid back in the love of service and the love of helping their neighbor, which in this Bible, that's the second greatest commandment. Love your neighbor as yourself. And this area does that very well, but there's always more that's needed.
Sure. So you could accommodate volunteers.
Sure.
That want to do that for you, whether it's ringing a bell or packing bags or whatever the case may be.
Right, and it was like, I'm really quick, the Thanksgiving we just had at the Civic Center,
right.
We fed about 465 individuals, and we had volunteers coming like crazy, and I'm like, wow. And it's like, somebody said, should we set a cutoff on volunteers? I said, no.
Why would we do that?
I said, we never do that. I said, there is something to do for everyone.
Right.
And sure enough, there was.
Right. Did I hear correctly? You ran out of turkey?
Yes.
At Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
That's all right.
We projected the turkey. Turkeys are more costly now this year than they were the year before.
Sure.
So last year we had an overflow of turkeys. This year wasn't as many as we'd like. However, having the Thanksgiving at the Civic Center, now we know what to do, and we know just the amount of turkeys we're going to need.
Nice.
And if we go over that, fine, but we have this is what we need. And we'll be ready to go for 2023. But
nice. Well,
we got one day at a time. We got to focus right here, right now. But it was a beautiful, beautiful event.
Right. No, I imagine it was, and I think the need is there and obvious. So it's great to be able to fulfill that need through at Thanksgiving, and then here we are at Christmas. It's a quick turnaround for you and your staff.
Yeah, it is a quick turnaround. But there was an advice that was given to me when I joined the Salvation Army and when I became a soldier in the Army. An officer said to me, always maintain a state of flexibility in the Lord. And if you stay flexible for whatever is presented, you're going to get through it, and you'll be that much more stronger and wise for doing so. And that has yet to fail me.
That's good advice.
Yeah, and I have to remember that too when everything's coming at me and my staff in 6 different directions. But if we do that, there it is.
Like when your van of Christmas gifts is stolen 2 weeks before Christmas.
Right.
I suppose that is a good time to remember that.
That was super flexible. That was like the Fantastic Four, stretching out how flexible we needed to be there. But it was quite an event. But it showed just how when you're faithful and devoted, and you're doing the right thing, how everything just comes together. And that's the way. That's not me. That's the higher power right there. And doing that makes everything more, how should I say, more delightful. I'll just use that word.
There you are. Yeah. Well, thanks to the work of you and a lot of your volunteers and your staff and others, I think there are many families, again, here throughout the San Juan County area that are going to have a Merry Christmas.
Oh, yeah. And we're going to do the best we can for them. And that's a fact. We can take that one to the bank.
There you are. Megan, any final thoughts?
No, I'm just a huge fan.
Are you really? I think we all are.
I am.
Yeah.
A huge fan.
Well, we're fans of both of you as well.
Well, thank you very much. That's awesome. We appreciate that. And I think, again, we're all working to make a better community.
Yes.
And that's why we all love living here.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and so it's great to be able to see some of these things. And I just can't imagine the faces of these children when they get these toys.
I can't even put it into words.
Just how much their day has improved, and my mom and dad too, and our grandma and grandpa, whoever's in the family.
Yeah, and that one smile, just, it's all worth it for just that one smile. Because that's the way of the Lord telling you, hey, you're doing what you need to be doing, and keep it up.
There you go. Well, Lieutenant Rockwell, thank you for coming in. Thank you for the work that you do.
Scott, very much.
Again, just a reminder for folks, the Angel Tree online, Angel Tree, Salvation Army Angel Tree.org is how you can apply online through the 10th. So that's the next week.
Yes.
You're still accepting applications. You can also call 505-327-5117. And someone will get back to them if they don't answer the phone right away.
Absolutely.
Or someone's not available. But this is a busy time for you, so be patient, everyone. That's why the online option is probably preferred.
Yes.
But,
yes, it's preferred, but we love seeing their faces as well anyway. So
Right. And then next Tuesday is the volunteer event.
Right. Next Tuesday we'll open up that warehouse because the gifts are already starting to come in.
I'm sure.
They're already starting to come in. So yeah, we'll open those doors up and just, hey, here's your bag, here's your form, check it off. Put it in the queue and go on to the next one.
There you go.
And that's next Tuesday up until it's done before the 21st, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah, not one day. You're not going to just all cram it into one day.
You can come when you can come.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
True. And I have it on good authority that Megan ties a pretty fierce bow.
Well, that's wonderful because that's what we need. We need
See?
the fierce bow tires.
There you are.
For us.
I got it.
Okay. There you are. Lieutenant, Merry Christmas. Thank you for coming
Scott.
in.
Merry Christmas, Megan.
We appreciate it very, very much.
Thank you.
You bet. That is our Solutions from the Street this morning, everybody. But before we go, a couple other extra notes to talk a little bit about of what's coming up next week. And of course, if folks who are watching or listening have an idea about another problem and that in need of a solution or what the solution is,
we would love to hear it. Just go to KSJE at sanjuancollege.edu.
send an email to that address.
Send an email to that address and with your idea, and we would love it.
Exactly. We'll check it out.
Yeah.
And we'll maybe get them on the show.
Yeah.
So we need more solutions. Even though you and I think we know it all, we don't know it all. Somebody out there probably knows of a solution.
This is true.
Yeah. So there you go. Tomorrow morning,
you're
back on the radio. It's like you just live here sometimes.
I know. Set up a cot.
Yeah.
It's radio free Saturday morning. I
know you sleep under the desk. You don't even have a cot for you.
No, there's no cot. It's on the floor.
No, you just crawl out onto the desk. I know.
Yeah.
For some weeks, but yes, tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning. Format free radio.
Yeah.
Which is in the biz speak. That means no genre really. It's
right.
You can play what you want to play.
It might be pop or jazz or folk or rock and roll.
Yeah.
Or classical.
Sure, flamenco.
Right.
Who knows?
Yeah.
No, you never know what you're going to hear.
You never do know.
9 to 11 a.m. every Saturday morning.
Yes.
And it's usually, it actually always is based around a theme.
Yes.
So tomorrow's theme is wishes. I can't believe I remember it.
Oh, good for you.
Usually I forget it.
Well, that's because,
But
okay.
yeah.
Wishes. So music related to wishes.
Yes. Wishes made, wishes hoped for, that kind of stuff.
That goes right with the theme today, I think, too. So
yes.
How about that? All right, 2 hours of wishes.
Yeah.
Tomorrow morning.
That's right.
All right. Very, very good. And then next week,
that's interesting.
a whole other show.
That's right.
At this time, right?
Or that's show where we talk about, it's like Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Show about nothing.
That's right. That's us. Exactly. But you know why it's about nothing? Because we want callers to call in and tell us what to talk about. And it's really the listener who drives the show.
That's right.
So whatever you find interesting in your world, we invite you to call in next Friday. So it's every other Friday, 8 to 9 a.m. Just call us up and tell us what's interesting in your world. It could be wishes. It could be Salvation Army. It could be Christmas.
Yeah.
Whatever. How to tie a bow.
Parades, whatever.
Parades.
But yeah, best method to tie a bow. That's a good one.
Yeah. I could do it.
Yeah.
So we hope you'll join us then, everybody. But until then, that wraps up our show this week. So
Yes, it does.
Thank you for coming in. Always good to have you here.
Always
Couldn't
good
do
to
without you.
It's fun.
Okay.
It's a good way.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. You sure?
It's a good way to start a Friday.
It is.
Yeah.
Right? Now you're ready for your weekend.
That's right.
Okay. There you go, everybody. All right. Thank you all for joining us. Have a great week, everyone. We'll see you next Friday here on KSJE. KSJE and San Juan College present the Student Success Coaching Tip of the Week. Week 15, don't cram. While it may seem like a good idea to learn an entire semester's worth of information in one night, it's not an effective study habit, and it can cause a lot of unnecessary stress. Instead, study a little bit of information every day for at least 20 to 30 minutes. You'll likely remember more later, and you'll feel calm and prepared when it comes to exam time. The Student Success Coaching Tip of the Week, presented by KSJE and the Student Achievement Center at San Juan College.
Join us for the Festival of Trees Senior Social, December 2nd from 1 to 3 p.m. at the Farmington Civic Center. Enjoy a hot cup of coffee or tea and a cookie or two. Live entertainment will be offered. This event is free for seniors in our community. Visit pmsfestivaloftrees.org for more information about the Festival of Trees and to purchase tickets to any of our events. Thank you 7S Minerals and Jacobs Engineering for sponsoring this event.